Hey guys, so I just wanted to share a testimony. So as you have all seen on my YouTube page as well as some of my live videos, that I was seeing someone for about 3 weeks. At first, he was very nice, and then he became a little bit toxic towards the end. And I was really hurt and wounded by him. And some of the things that he said to me, mostly through Instagram DM. So it ended very abruptly, and we just stopped talking, and I was like, I don't want you in my life. I blocked him. So there was really no way of contacting him again. I had his phone number, but it was just I felt really shut down and heartbroken. But then basically I saw that he liked my photo on Hinge, and I was really, really praying. I was so scared of basically making the wrong decision by contacting him again. I was scared that he would attack me verbally or say something really mean that would hurt me again. And I was just traumatized by the whole situation. So basically, I was super afraid to just make a mistake, and I was afraid that he would hurt me again. So verbally, or through Messenger. And so basically, I took a chance, because a lot of times when we've been wounded, we're scared to take chances, right? I took a chance, and I matched with him on Hinge, and I asked, basically, instead of confronting what we were talking about or how I was hurt, I asked him if we could meet in person and talk about things. So we actually met up in person and talked about it, and he actually apologized to me, and he said that most of the things that I did out of just purely expressing how I felt. It wasn't an attack on him or anything. And then I also told him that I forgave him for some of the things that he said that was very mean and hurtful. And it just went really well. And even though some of the words still hurt, and I can still hear it in my heart, what he said to me, but a part of me feels like I've been vindicated, and that God, a lot of what happened, even with his roommates, or what happened with the drama with his ex-girlfriend, God actually exposed everything and showed to him that I was right to confront his neighbors about how they treated me, or his roommates. Hi. And I think a lot of times we're really scared to confront the people. We're scared to even meet up with them because we're scared to get hurt again. But a lot of times, if you just confront the situation and you tell that person how you feel and you talk to them, you will be so amazed by what God can do. So I just encourage you, all of you, if you need closure with someone, I really encourage you to talk to them, meet with them, have an adult conversation. Don't be there to attack, but just tell them very calmly, hey, I was really hurt by what you said about me. I was hurt by this and that. I'm not here to attack you, but this is how I feel. And I just feel so much peace, because even last night I was having real anxiety about, hey, I was really having anxiety, and I would wake up and be oh, I'm so scared. I'm so scared of him. I'm scared of what he'll say to me. But God really, really exposed the truth to him, and he said that everything needed to happen the way they did, because he didn't really like the way that I confronted his roommates about how they were treating me, because he was well, it won't go right. If you confront them, it won't go anywhere. and you'll just be hurt. But I was like, no, but I need to tell them how I feel. And that's what I felt God was saying. So essentially, all of that really exposed their true nature and true character. And God vindicated me. And he showed me, like, whatever, especially as a prophet, when you speak the truth, yeah, not everyone's gonna like it. But essentially, like, God will expose the truth. Other people don't see it. Like, eventually, God will prove himself right. God will prove, like, who really had good intentions or they are deceitful or whatever. Like, I don't even know, but yeah. So it just showed me, like, what confrontation can really do. That you can come to a place of peace with someone and just feel this, like, it feels really amazing. So instead of, like, gossiping about that person and never confronting them, once you do, it's like, because I think there was such a fear in my heart, like, what if, okay, I match with this person, what if they just straight up, like, attack me verbally on this app? Or what if this happens and that happens? And we're sometimes so afraid to take chances that we don't live. Like, we overthink everything, and because we've been hurt before, we're like, well, I took a chance, I opened up my heart and I got hurt. But guess what? Keep making choices, keep opening up your heart. And I had a lot of people tell me, like, well, if he's toxic, he's always going to be toxic, so, like, don't even give him a chance, like, don't even talk to him, like, just move on. And I think they're wrong, because I had to get closure. I had to tell him how I feel. We had to, like, come to an understanding. And the only way to get closure is to actually talk about it, talk about what happened. For example, if you've ever been cheated on, that person just walked out on you without a conversation, you really don't have closure. So I really recommend and advise you that if there is something that you feel like, man, I need to talk about it with that person, find that person and talk to them and tell them how you feel. Because I am literally a living testimony of, like, God, okay, there's this opportunity to reconcile, to tell them how I feel, to come to a place of understanding with that person. And I took it. I could have said, you know what, I'm just going to block this person forever. Because I even messaged him and I said, look, like, you really did hurt me. And he was like, well, do you just not want to ever talk? And I was like, no, actually, can we meet in person? Because I wasn't about to tell him how I felt through Messenger. And so I feel not only vindicated, but I also feel like my heart feels a lot more open. And I feel like God really healed that wound of feeling traumatized and attacked. And I just feel, like, so good right now. And I just praise God for it. Like, God is good. And, like when you stop talking to someone or you feel shunned after a situation happens, like, it can be traumatizing. But I just feel I'm so grateful. Like, I've never actually had that happen before. Like, basically block someone, never talk to them again. 2 months later, get rematched on a dating app so that we can meet and have closure. For that person to say, look, I'm willing to meet with you, I'm willing to talk things out, it means a lot to me, because it means, like, they're mature enough to talk. And I just see so many social media posts where it's just like boy, bye, like, be offended, stay mad, you know, like, you deserve better. But no one really talks about reconciliation and confronting that person about how you feel and having, like, this vulnerable talk where you can be honest, where you can tell that person how you feel, and then come to an understanding of why did they do that, you know, like, why did they say that. And a lot of times we say things out of anger or offense, not meaning it, right? And it really affects us, it really hurts us. But when we can come to a place where we can say, like, look, I'm sorry, like, that you felt like I wasn't listening to you. I'm sorry that like, you're hurt, you know? That takes a lot of humility. And, like, I remember advising an Uber driver and just telling him, like, dude, if this guy's lying to you all the time and you're not confronting him about it, you know, you're living the lie. He's not lying to you. You're literally lying to yourself. And he's like, well, it's my pride. Like, I don't want to confront him because I don't want to look like I care. No, that's not pride. That's not weakness to say that, hey, you've hurt me and it hurts, and I want you to recognize that and, like, to call them out, you know? Hi. Because I think a lot of times, like, in our society, we're so scared of confrontation. I cannot tell you how many guys have ghosted after a date where, like, they don't even want to stay friends. Again, I have the story of this guy who was wearing sunglasses. I hadn't seen him for, like, a year. And I was like, can I see your eyes for a second so I can, like, visually connect with you? And he was like, no, like, you're making this so awkward. I just want to be chill. And he literally, like, said, oh, I don't want to hang out anymore. And I got out the car and I walked home because I was like, okay. And guess what? I tried to text him and call him and just be like, hey, what happened? Like, I just want to understand, even as a human being, as a friend, like, hey, what offended you? What did you feel rejected? Like, when I asked to see your eyes, like, what was really going on in your mind? And guess what? He never replied. He never called back. That was it. There was no explanation. And I feel like we live in a society where, like, communication is, like, so not there. Like, people rather text than call. People rather text than meet face to face. They rather hide behind a screen than tell their truth and have an adult, mature conversation about how it is that they actually feel. And so that's why we have so much, like, addiction going on. We have so much of, you know, and it's like, yeah, I think, like, I just feel really, really, like, good right now. I feel like God really, like, Jesus, I felt so misunderstood in that situation with the guy that I was seeing. Like, I felt so hurt by the way his roommate treated me. And I felt hurt that he didn't protect me, that he didn't, you know, stand up for me, that he let people, like, basically treat me wrong. And he did tell me, like, don't confront them. It's not going to go well. But at the same time, like, I would have wanted him to support me in whatever I wanted to say. You know what I mean? That makes sense. But I just felt a lot of emotions when I talked to him. Like, I was like, look, to be honest, even though you've hurt me with a lot of things that you've said, I still have feelings for you. And it was like, okay, I still like you, but that we're, like, not compatible, that we don't have the same beliefs. And I don't know, it's, like, bittersweet. It's like, okay, we got closure, but it's also hard because we still have feelings for each other. And that's gonna be true for a lot of things that you end, that, you know, like, that person isn't your husband or your wife. And it's bittersweet, but then when you have that conversation, like, you feel so much better. And it does feel like a close to a season, and it feels like, God, thank you for proving those people who bullied me even wrong. And so I just want to say, like, when people treat you badly, don't hate on them, because guess what? God is going to prove them wrong. Like, God is going to vindicate you, and it feels like pretty amazing, that, like, God will stand up for you, because you've always followed your heart. You've always followed God. Like, and even if you've done wrong, like, I just want to remind you that you are pure in God's eyes, that you're righteous by his blood. And that's why I was able to forgive him. But of course, those words still taunted me, like, words are very hurtful. And I just learned so much today about confrontation, forgiveness. It's just very emotional, like, the whole thing. Like, I don't know. It's like, that has never happened to me. Like, I've never had a confrontation where it's like in the past, even in my relationships, like, I never got to meet up again with an ex or someone, that I talked to before, and just really spend, like, hours, just conversing, and then coming to a conclusion of, like, peace. I feel really grateful, and I do still feel hurt and wounded by what he said about me, but like, time will heal that. And it just shows, like, wow, how do people stay in marriages when, like, that one person can literally mess up and say a bunch of mean things to you, and how do you forget it? You know what I mean? Those words just keep repeating itself in your head, and you're like, get out of my head, and every time you see that person, like, whatever he said or she said just sticks in your mind. And that's why I always ask God, like, please wash away the words that are not of you or are not true about me, And so, anyways, that's it. Thanks for listening. God bless you. Bye.